collaborate with fascist parties to protect capital. Machines of war instead of hospitals. A poverty draft.
Complete the Golden Dome.
Fascist military installations across Canada at the request of fascist. It's exactly what Donald Trump wants, while Carney loots public resources. Canada's government is failing. What do I mean? Well, let's listen as Carney details the Liberal government's accomplishments.
What we'd like to do this morning is to review some of the actions that we've taken, some of the results we've achieved so far, and what's coming next.
Spoiler, it's all ass.
Transforming our economy by building our strength at home, increasing our independence by diversifying our partnerships abroad, and providing Canadians with a boost today and a bridge to a better tomorrow.
The boost is really only towards the wealthy, and the bridge is built of cardboard next to a forest that's ready to ignite. Under the Liberal government, material conditions are only going to keep degrading. Carney doesn't care about your lived experiences. He serves capital, not Canadians, stealing from the suffering masses and then hand it to land speculators, corporations who provide no societal benefit.
In less than a year, Build Canada Homes has already committed to building more than 11,000 new affordable homes.
Billions and billions in handouts to private corporations. 11,000 homes to show. That's pathetic.
4,500 homes either already under construction or about to break ground within the next 3 months.
Not even finished homes. It's a grift. They're stealing from the masses.
We have the right plan. We're on track. But there's much, much more to do. That some of the biggest payoffs from that plan will take time.
Carney has no intention of rapidly delivering material results to working class Canadians. A little moment of honesty.
The biggest payoffs will take time.
What are the payoffs? Billions in handouts to oil and gas companies so they can build a pipeline? The payoffs will be magnificent, glorious. Pipelines, baby.
We will deepen cooperative federalism with initiatives ranging from Alberta's proposed carbon capture and pipeline to the West Coast.
Cooperative federalism is when you build an obsolete metal tube hundreds of kilometers long full of thick oil that will accelerate climate collapse. That's cooperative federalism. Any increase in fossil fuel production, which Carney is already doing and plans to do more, it's a crime against the climate and against the next generations, including Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Very cooperative.
And share prosperity across current and future generations of Canadians.
Just older generation giving a middle finger on the way out.
Protecting our borders, our communities, and our way of life.
This is the Americanization of Canadian politics. They've empowered the police and surveillance state.
We passed 6 laws to combat crime and give law enforcement the tools that they need.
This includes Israeli spyware that can remotely access your phone. Lawful access, a fancy way of saying empowering cops to spy on you. Building a police state in the name of safety. Congratulations. Carney bragging about working with the Conservatives.
We especially worked with the Conservatives to pass the groceries and essentials benefit.
Conservatives and Liberals in Parliament agree on 95% of things.
Here, Poilievre pointed to several Liberal bills Conservatives have already fast-tracked.
Both serve the interests of capital first and foremost. Liberal parties throughout history are known to collaborate with the more reactionary fascist parties to protect capital. This isn't a new thing. And yes, I consider the Federal Conservative Party American Empire collaborators. They would be giving Donald Trump a suck job even harder than Mark Carney has.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
Which is to say, a crazy suck job.
We've also instituted the largest pay raise for the Canadian Armed Forces members in a generation.
Increasing military salaries while stealing from the masses is just a poverty draft.
Recruitment to the CAF is now the highest in 3 decades.
To give economic incentive to militarizing the poor working class masses. It's gross.
We're on track for NATO's new 3.5% of GDP in 2035 defense expenditure target.
Rampant militarization, the likes of which Canada has not seen since at least World War II. Money wasted on bombs, machines of war, instead of hospitals, bridges, and roads across Canada.
That's right. Over $500 billion will be invested in defense activity.
The military's not protecting against America. That's a lie that Carney has sold you, if you believe it.
We have a very strong relationship with the United States. We're managing that relationship now. On the defense, security, and intelligence side, that relationship continues.
There are many areas where we cooperate closely with the Americans for our defense.
NATO is the military alliance of the U.S. empire. No America, no NATO.
Without the United States, they couldn't really have NATO. It wouldn't work.
It's a tool to empower the U.S. empire currently led by a fascist Donald Trump.
NATO is there to protect us collectively against any adversary, be it Russia or whoever, or terrorism. But also it is a platform for the United States to project power on the world stage.
Bragging about meeting NATO's targets and integrating with NATO is just helping the US empire and their vassal state Israel to try and maintain global military domination.
The fact that we stick together, the United States and Europe and Canada, is crucial also for the success of this American-Israeli campaign.
Throughout Mark Carney's entire tenure, he has been complicit in the and apartheid of Palestinians. He has materially supported the Israelis. He went as far as to support the US-Israeli war of aggression against Iran and their allies.
Canada supports the United States acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, and we reaffirm Israel's right to defend itself.
Saying it was
Where that's been taken off the table, yes, that's working.
worth it to obliterate children at the request of a fascist and the apartheid state Israel.
Yes, that's working.
Wasting money feeding the military-industrial complex.
Rifles, ammunition, new ships, new submarines, new aircraft, new armored vehicles, new strength in space and cyber.
Instead of building a better future for people in Canada.
New submarine fleet, the world's second largest fleet of icebreakers, and new aircraft, missile, and cyber defenses.
What Carney means when he says missile defense is joining Donald Trump's Golden Dome project.
We have an ability to complete the Golden Dome.
And I cannot stress this enough. Carney's position is that Canada will be a willing participant in Trump's Israel-inspired Golden Dome.
But we are also exploring the next phase of that defense with the United States, and that could include what's called the Golden Dome. It's under development, and if it's in the right interests of Canada, and I think there are certainly many scenarios where it will be in the right interests of Canada, we will be a willing participant.
The Golden Dome would require fascist military installations across Canada, willingly inviting in the enemy when Canadians understand that they are the greatest threat to the world? Insanity.
I'm not sure one negotiates on this. These are military decisions.
He wants us to be in a dome with the US empire led by a fascist Wow, very cool, Mark Carney. All this would do is put a target on Canada's back. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think we should tie ourselves to a sinking ship at the request of a fascist but Mark Carney says
we will be a willing participant.
It's essentially surrendering Canada's sovereignty. Big plans for the Arctic.
We're upgrading our ports and air bases and asserting Canada's full sovereignty in the Arctic.
He means militarizing Canada's Arctic. Canada's Arctic North, and maybe you already know this, Canada's Arctic North is the furthest point from the continental United States. That's how distances work. Militarizing the farthest point from the hostile fascist US empire. It sounds stupid and is stupid because it's exactly what Donald Trump wants. Who does this protect against? Defending up here? Russia? Come on. What's Russia gonna do? Wrap up the war in Ukraine and then paradrop their forces over the North Pole? One of the most remote and difficult to supply regions on the planet? It's insane. It's crazy. Anyone who believes that Russia currently poses a military threat to Canada's Arctic is severely misled or simply foolish. I'll tell you what the biggest threat to Canada's Arctic is, and you may have already guessed it. It's the fascist US empire that's been threatening to annex Canada. But no, Russia's the biggest threat. Trust me, this is the NATO military doctrine. Militarize the North, integrate Canada with the United States defense. Canada militarizing the Arctic and joining the Golden Dome is a de facto US annexation of Canada.
Our goal is to transform the Canadian economy into the strongest in the G7. That's a big task. but the early signs are encouraging.
The economy and the strong signs it's showing, signs of strength that the economy has. He proceeds to go on a reactionary anti-immigrant rant as if somehow this is the key to a flourishing economy.
We've taken back control of immigration. Asylum claims are down by a third. Temporary foreign workers arrivals down by half. And international student arrivals down by 60%.
When there's no more people coming in, that means the economy go good, right? The immigration he's talking about made up a relatively small percentage of the total economy. So this isn't an economic indicator.
And international student arrivals down by 60%.
Expelling from the country the world's best and brightest who pay extremely higher fees than Canadians to come study in Canada. Expelling those people is a sign of a failing society.
We can now carefully rebuild a sustainable immigration system consistent with Canadian values.
Carney's anti-immigrant policies serve two primary purposes. The first one is it's red meat thrown to the reactionary white nationalists. Carney thinks shifting immigration policy towards the right will earn their support. Secondly, it serves as a band-aid to make per capita statistics look better. The economic vibes seem a little better for the out-of-touch people in the ruling class.
We have reinforced the strongest fiscal position in the G7 by cutting operating spending growth from over 8% a year to less than 2%.
Cutting operational spending is the marketing on austerity. Austerity while somehow protecting services.
All while protecting the vital social programs that Canadians rely on every day, including childcare, pharmacare, and dental care.
Bullshit protecting these services. Anyone in Canada knows that social safety nets programs are being gutted, becoming increasingly insufficient and inaccessible. And this is at all levels of government, provincial and federal. He's gutting them, refusing to fund them more. Like a month ago, Carney terminated parts of pharmacare. This is called austerity, theft from the working class. Oh, apparently housing and rent is improving. Wow, that's news.
Housing costs and rental affordability are improving, with the rent-to-income ratio falling to its lowest level in over 6 years.
What world is he in? Housing and rent prices have increased tremendously over the past 10 years, but he wants you to believe that a little dip year over year is the be-all end-all whenever it's been steadily increasing for years. He cut taxes for the middle class. That's like one of the only carrots he can point to.
Our first act as new government was to cut income taxes for 22 million middle-class Canadians.
Okay, so like up to $840 for a two-income family, which won't even affect the millions of Canadians who don't pay taxes because their income is so low. I don't think I need to be the one to tell you that $840 isn't keeping up with the exponentially ever-increasing cost of living. This isn't even a carrot. It's a middle finger at the working class while Carney loots public resources and hands it to the wealthy ruling class. It's a big grift.
To introduce the Canada Groceries and Essential benefits, meaning up to $1,890 for a family of 4.
People are paying like $15,000 a year just on groceries, food to sustain life. How the is up to $1,800 for a family of 4 sufficiently addressing the cost of living crisis? It's not, and this is one of his rotten little carrots that he gets to parrot around, pretending like he's doing something for the working class. That's an insufficient joke amount for an existential crisis affecting the vast majority of Canadians. It's honestly an insult to people's lived experiences.
The first action we took as a majority government was to suspend the federal fuel excise tax, saving Canadians up to 10 cents a litre at the pump until Labor Day.
Suspending the fuel excise tax did practically nothing to lower gas prices, but it was a massive payday for oil and gas companies in Canada, who could now pocket the difference. That's a wealth transfer.
We've just launched a new national food security strategy to spur more competition for your hard-earned dollar, to produce more food at home, and to lower grocery bills.
By Carney's own assessment, his national food strategy could increase grocer competition by up to 15%.
Within 4 years, our strategy targets increasing the number of independent grocers buying from food terminals or hubs such as this by 15%. 15%.
up to 15% in 4 years. 4 years. He thinks this is worth bragging over? The grocery market is dominated by 3 companies. There's a grocery cartel that is squeezing people dry over their need for food.
These deep structural changes will take some time, but you'll quickly see the impact of that once it happens.
15% 4 years from now. You don't need to do the math to know that's not enough, and it obviously isn't going to cut it, and it doesn't address the immediate problem right now.
We've secured more than 20 economic and security partnerships.
20 trade deals signed, nothing to show for it. Shit sucks.
We're in the process of becoming the world's alternative to China as a reliable supplier of critical minerals.
Here is him giving the game away. He's a NATO war hawk. Carney's critical mineral strategy is predicated on an inevitable war with China, which would be a disaster, obviously. The Communist Party of China are stable, rational actors with the stated intent of looking to build a more cooperative and just world. Meanwhile, Carney's militarizing and posturing around an inevitable war with them. Carney is so ideologically committed to US empire, he would rather be subservient to the hostile fascist over socialism with Chinese characteristics. Whatever you think of China, they have objectively massively improved the material conditions of the working class. China has results. Over 800 million human beings lifted out of extreme poverty. 50,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. They are the global leader in green energy and technology. China is a rising lion, rapidly surpassing the US empire, and instead of collaborating with China, Carney chooses the fascist every single time. Carney's bragging about his AI strategy.
We'll help Canadians harness the potential of AI while protecting your data, your privacy, and your kids.
Massive handouts for tech companies, and it doesn't include any legislative protections for Canadians. Worst of all, it doesn't address the mass displacement of labor by AI, which is a generation-defining issue that will leave hundreds of thousands unemployed.
Harness the potential of AI while protecting your data, your privacy, and your kids.
Notice he doesn't say protecting your job and future opportunities because he literally wants you to be fired and replaced with an AI. Systemic solutions are needed. If you want to solve the housing crisis, you need to decommodify housing. It must be a human right for everyone, afforded to all people. Housing should not be an investment vehicle for speculators to make a profit. It's gross. While we're proposing solutions, the Canadian working class needs ownership over the basic functions of society. All utilities, power generation, heat, hydro, gas, they must be expropriated and made publicly owned. Food production and distribution should also be made public. People in Canada should have trust over their basic needs. Trust is impossible to obtain while there are capitalist parasites profiting off human existence and human rights. We need a socialist organization of Canada's economy, an economy that serves the people, not capital. If you like my content and want to hear more, please like and subscribe to my channel. That's all for today. Take care, everyone. Peace and love. Until next time, bye bye.